Are you able to this year better considering you appreciate it more considering a year ago where you were trying to get your 8th win in the Sun Bowl? This year, BCS Bowl, Big 12 championship.
Well, hey, every year's different, So I don't. Again, everybody loves to correlate and tie in years. To me, you guys heard me say it way too many times, but every year's a different story. It's its own baby, its own journey, and these guys have run a good course to this point. And and last year, finishing the year was really positive to play as we did in the last couple of games, and fought through to at least finish that way after all the different injuries that we had through the year. So, but again, this is a different year.
This will be the second straight year you play a team that prides itself in running the football. Can Connecticut hurt you enough in the passing game?
Sure.
Do they?
Yeah, they do a great job, and that's what happens when you got an excellent running attack and a great back is. If you get so concerned about him, you can give up big plays. So and they'll go after him, with their different play action passes and, their different trick plays as well.
What stands out about Todd?
Patience. I think all those really good backs see holes and have patience to wait for their blocking to clear the hole. A lot of times it can be overlooked and backs hit up in there too soon. The space isn't there yet. They haven't had time for the blocks to work the way they should. And to me, he does a great vision that way, good patience for it. And then, of course, the ability to make people miss them like most backs do.
Bob, you mentioned finishing last year the way you did, and Landry and a couple of guys last night talked about how helpful the bowl victory was to send them into the off season. Considering how a lot of people are going to regard you in the preseason next year, could winning this bowl game set that same tone?
Yeah, I guess to a point, but in the end, to me it was so many guys played last year unexpectedly. And then so I guess all that growth is a big factor why Landry and maybe we were projected better this year because of all that growth and that experience that he got a year ago. So I guess it does make a difference to a degree. But, again, always there's graduation or players who leave early or not, that kind of change the complexion of what you are. But I imagine it makes a difference. But where you start isn't that big a deal. It's more what you're able to do through the entirety of it.
Speaking of players that might leave early, there's a labor talks and dispute and all kinds of work stoppage in the NFL. What you've advised guys in the past on what to be careful of.
Yeah.
This is an unprecedented situation facing rookies or juniors coming out. What do you tell them then?
Just that. It's from listening to most people's opinion, this would be the very worst year to come out as an underclassman because of all the labor issues and the uncertainty. And again, I'm a firm believer if you're not a solid, definite number one draft pick, then you're giving up way too much. And you don't want to hear me get into that, but I've given way too many and a bunch of strong details in regard to that. So
more so than this year, I guess. If you're not a surefire number one.
Again, this would be the worst of possible worst year that they've had, and again, that's coming from their people.
You got more ammunition this year, I guess, with what happened with Sam.
Yeah, obviously. Not only Sam. I got a bunch of guys who stuck around. Jamal Brown's to me, one of the best examples. His draft projection was second round. He came back and it was the very first lineman taken in the draft his senior year. That's a difference of tens of millions of dollars. So anyway, let's not go there.
Unfortunately, you've also got some negatives to point at there too, don't you?
No.
Guys who left who shouldn't have left.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's all kind of guys and that's the whole deal. If you want to go play at a discount and give them a break on what you're worth, then that's what you do. If you're taken later than the first.
You kind of mentioned Cameron earlier. Can you talk about how effective he's been in clutch situations for you?
Yeah, he's had a huge year. It's just really been exciting how, just how much more sure of himself, the confidence, and making big plays and third down clutch situations has really been exciting. Talking about Cameron Kinney, just really, those last two games, Oklahoma State and Nebraska, he came up with some big plays in third down situations and when we really needed him. So he's been solid.
What kind of expectations do you have for him on the BCS game?
Hopefully he'll do the same thing, make those important catches. What's been fun to watch is making the competitive catches, when you got guys hanging on him or really contesting them, and he's still been able to come up with some big plays.
How many of the freshman year redshirt do you think will have an impact next year?
Oh, all of them, I think. I believe. I mean, there's a bunch of them that really look good, play well. Have really worked hard through the winter here or the fall, and so I think they'll all have an impact.
Seems like the guys up front on the offensive, defensive lines, maybe it takes them another year to kind of get physically developed. You've got a bunch of skill guys from the freshmen.
Yeah, but some of those guys in the line will be like, we were all set to play Geno Grissom, and he got the hairline fracture also in his foot, so it pulled him out. But I mean, a lot of those guys up front, both sides of the ball, are going to help.
Bob, the decision to elevate Josh, is he, it seems like he's always been on that track, even when he's playing maybe, that he was going to be a coach, and it seemed to most people that he was going to be a good one. What did you see in him early that you thought this guy that really going to be a coach, and what have you seen since he actually became a coach that?
Yeah, well, the obvious part that everyone sees is the efficiency and excellence of our quarterbacks, and again, it isn't any just one of them. It's been a number of them, and having coaching them with when you look at their technique, their fundamentals, and leading in leadership, and they've all been champions, Big 12 champions, that kind of thing. So, and then. Early on as a graduate assistant, he was working with, the offensive line. And so you like that his base starts up front. That was his first assignment as a GA, working with Coach Wilson in the offensive line. And then, and then he just has, of course, the leadership ability. His expectations of himself and, the people he works with are very demanding and high. And, and how competitive he is. Again, maybe you don't see that outwardly with some of our mild-mannered quarterbacks like a Sam Bradford, like him, or but inwardly, they project it in different ways of expectations and competitiveness.
We've talked to him a lot about how his life might have been different if he had never got that phone call from Leach and never come here.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
It'd also be interesting how you guys might have, how quickly he helped you jump off, because it's not like you had any great quarterbacks sitting around when you got here. Have you thought about what he did for Leach?
We had a ready-made team ready to win the championship. That's what some people have said, but go ahead.
But anyway, actually, that's a better. Who has said that? But did he help jumpstart you guys too in terms of?
Of course he did. Now, I'm not going to take away, or not to take away from Josh, but Jason White comes in and wins a Heisman Trophy. Nate Heupel comes in, wins a Big 12 championship as well, and they were all in the same recruiting class. But Josh was the one ready to play, and that's definitely the case, and definitely he jump-started the program and us.
You said you like
because it wasn't happening without him.
I'm sorry. You said you like to build your staffs to create a little bit ago the transition, maybe more seamless transition. When did you know that Josh would be your next play caller?
When Kevin left, I say that, but you're thinking through it through the season, and even last season, I'm always, in my mind, what are some possibilities when things move and change, and are they good possibilities? And so you're kind of always evaluating that way of what the possibilities would, and would it be positive, and those kind of things. So you're always kind of thinking through that.
Have you been pleased with his play calling in practice so far?
Yes. The play calling in practice is pretty much a group thing where they're what we're working on, and coaches all put the plan together. It's the same thing. Everybody kind of has a hand in what's good or make adjustment here, and then and then it's put down on paper.
Would he talk to Kevin during the game if he thought something would work?
Oh, I'm sure.
In the
We
past.
always do that, sure. Or Kevin would say, hey, I got these two in mind. What do you think Landry likes the best? Or if it's a timeout, ask him, which one. And usually a quarterback will tell you immediately, this is, these two options, certainly this one feels better, and so that's what coaches are always talking that way.
With Jay on the field this year, could you see value in keeping Kevin in the box as just a set of eyes to related things to Josh?
Possibly. Yeah, I don't, that could be the case.